Hey everyone! Well, we're here. We're back, and today we're doing another anti-MLM video. For today's video, we will be reacting to an individual that I found who wants to clear up myths and misinformation and misconceptions all about MLMs and specifically Monat, which is the MLM she is in. We will see what she has to say and see what she wants to clear up, because it seems like a lot of people in MLMs are constantly needing to defend the MLM they're in and the MLM industry as a whole. They spend a lot of their time doing that, which I can only assume must be very exhausting. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you really liked it, please subscribe. Make sure to check out my description below for all of my fun links. And before I get started, I did just want to point out that you guys will notice in the video that the individual in this video, her face is blurred, and as you know, I typically do not blur faces on the channel because every single video, as far as I know, that I've ever reacted to on the channel, I have found it on YouTube. So they are willingly putting themselves out on YouTube, on the platform that we are on right now. So just for the sake that I did find this video on Instagram, I have blurred their face. And as I've said many times in my videos, the people who I show in my videos are just examples of why the MLM industry as a whole is problematic. So what the individual looks like has nothing to do with it. It just has to do with what they're saying and how that relates to problems within MLMs. I'm sure you guys don't care either way if a face is blurred or not. I just wanted to put that out there. So now that everything has been said, let's get started.
Greetings, friends and family of Instagram. I want to talk about something today. So yesterday I got a random DM from a stranger, and it was a link to an article with 15 different bullet points on why Monat and MLM suck. And then this person said to me, be careful with Monat, and they sent me this link. So I clicked on the link because I'm like, okay, I know it's going to be a bunch of bullshit, but let me see what people have to say. Okay, so there are 15 bullet points on here, and I want to debunk every single one of them in case anyone else out there has these same concerns, because this is a lot of misinformation being spread, and this right here is why people don't support Monat or don't support MLMs, because they're constantly being fed a bunch of BS. So I want to properly educate the people more on these topics. So I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible, but they're pretty long bullet points and there are 15 of them. So bullet point number 1 says, it's a damn cult. You're told that there are 0 excuses, literally 0, for not attending Zoom calls, in-person trainings, or convention. I missed a really important family event to go to a convention because I was shamed so much and afraid of being ostracized by my friends. You're literally brainwashed. So what I have to say about this, actually, let me go to the third point because I want to tie them together. So her third point is, if your friends are your upline, you'll stop hearing from them the moment they decide you aren't going to help them get to the next level. If you do hear from them, it's because you're doing X number in sales. Hitting a certain rank or bringing on new market partners helps them get to a new rank or maintain the one they're at now. Better yet, your uplines may not even acknowledge you in public, and if you leave, they'll tell all of your teammates to blacklist you. Okay, so both of these points, it seems like this was her own personal experience with her team.
Yes, and more than likely, this lady is going to say, well, I didn't have that experience. It's like, well, that's your own personal experience. So you can't say, well, that's not true in MLMs because I've never had that experience, which is what we hear a lot in MLMs. It's like, well, that can't happen because it's never happened to me. And I've had people comment on my videos and say like, well, that didn't happen to me, so you can't say that all MLMs are like that. And it's like, I understand that logic, but it's like, I have heard more stories of certain things within MLMs being true on the negative side than the positive side. And it's always hard to take their word for it because they have to portray themselves in such a positive, upbeat, wonderful manner that everything in life is rainbows and roses, when we know otherwise, and then people will get out and say like, yeah, it wasn't this picture perfect thing that like I pretended it to be. So it's hard to know and take truth from people in MLMs when we hear so often that they're told to exaggerate. I guess that's a good way to word it.
I have to say, with my own personal experience, I have had the complete opposite. I have had nothing but a supportive and positive and uplifting team. So I'm sorry if that was her experience, but I cannot relate to that at all. I am not required to go to Zoom calls. A lot of the times I don't go to the Zoom calls mainly because I forget and I should be setting a timer to remind myself, but I'm never shamed for not going to them. I am honestly told that my mental health is more important than anything. That is a big thing. That's a part of my team personally. So again, if that's her.
This is something I said in the Reddit video that I did, I believe whatever the last video of Reddit was that I did. I said that they like to preach that they support mental health and that mental health comes first beyond anything else. But yet, people's mental health get literally pushed to the side, and they're actually encouraged to use it as a way to get people to join along with them. For example, we hear a lot of people saying that I got into this business because I was at a weak and vulnerable time in my life. My depression was terrible. My anxiety was through the roof. I didn't know how I would solve X, Y, and Z. And thanks to the MLM, it has solved all these problems, which definitely is not true. I just don't understand how putting your mental health first can even be something they state when you have to be on social media 24/7. You have to be trying to recruit people, get people to buy into things, and maybe constantly being told no. That can take a hit to somebody's mental health for sure. And, maybe trying to do all the things that your upline tells you to do and you're not seeing those results because again the MLM industry is not built for everybody. So you're doing everything you're supposed to, but yet you're not seeing those results. That's going to also take a hit to your mental health. So it's hard for me to ever be okay with the idea that any MLM whatsoever is putting mental health first. I cannot get on board with that.
Experience, I'm sorry, but I can't relate to that. So I would say join a team that you can relate to better and that values your needs more. So point number 2 is those friends in that community, in parentheses cult, you've built will stop talking to you the moment you shed doubt on anything. The new skincare line didn't jive with my ingredient-sensitive skin. When I voiced that to my friends, all hell broke loose. The same thing happened to a friend of mine. He had a large following, and Monat went as far as to disable his account because he publicly said he was switching back to Dermalogica. So, where do I start with this one? Again, this just seems like this was her experience with her team. It just doesn't seem like she was a part of the right community, the right team. She should have joined someone else. I don't know who would be leading their team this way.
So again, they're so taught to blame the individuals because when you join Monat, everybody's told we have this great community. You will have a group of women surrounding you who are just the most amazing people. And then it's like you get in, let's say, you're not treated that well. You're upset about that because this is what they portrayed it to be. It's like, well, you joined the wrong team. How was she to know that? How was she to know that? And also, here's a thing. If it truly was your own job where all you need to do is go out and get sales, this whole team aspect wouldn't matter.
But it's definitely not how my team is led, which I'm thankful for. Again, I'm sorry if this was her experience. It's not mine at all. But we are not required to use every product or like every product. My upline actually can't use any of the wellness products except for the pre and probiotics because they have stevia in them and she's allergic to stevia, and she talked about that publicly on her stories. I don't use every single one of the products. You're not going to like every single product because especially with the hair care, and the skincare, there are different lines meant for different hair types and skin types and needs. So not every product is going to work for every person. So you don't have to like everything. So
And I definitely agree with that, but the issue is that anyone who joins Monat claims to be this like skincare professional and hair care professional because they bought a starter kit. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not a professional in this stuff, so they're just going to recommend either stuff their upline says or something that they believe personally. Maybe
if she was told that she has to like every product and she's not allowed to shed doubt on anything, again, it seems like she's either not being truthful or maybe taking things the wrong way, or she just wasn't a part of the right team, because I don't know which team would lead that way. I don't think that's right. And then she said her friend Monat disabled his account for talking about how he switched back to Dermalogica. We are not required to solely use Monat. If I want to use other hair products or skin products and talk about them publicly, I'm allowed to. There are actually a lot of SEDs and millionaires at the top of the company who do use other skincare with Monat. They incorporate other products into their skincare routine, and they talk about that publicly on their stories. They are not shamed. Their accounts are not disabled. They're top of the company. They talk about it for thousands of people to hear. A lot of them actually just spoke on stage at our annual convention in Atlanta. So they're definitely not being shamed or told not to do that. We're allowed to use whatever products we want and talk about whatever products we want. We are people who have the freedom to do whatever we want. The only thing we're not allowed to do is talk about specific dollar amounts of our paychecks for
or apparently speak negatively about Monat ever. Like we do see people like will come out with truths and feelings and be like, "Hey, I'm kind of having these doubts," and they're either shamed for it or told to stop thinking that way. You're just thinking rude. You're just thinking negatively. And it's like you can't share how you actually feel. You have to constantly be on this positivity grind or sharing every personal detail of your life and why Monat is the whole reason that it's a perfect life now.
obvious reasons. Okay.
But okay, of course they're not forcing you to do this. Nobody can force you to do anything. But they will say you should post more on social media. You should do this more this way. If you want to make sales, if you want to rank up, you have to do X, Y, and Z. You have to follow our system. So it's like you kind of have to. You do kind of have to do whatever the upline or somebody is telling you to do because you want to make money, potentially, hopefully.
So then point number 4 says Monat shampoo is not silicone free. I'll skip through. Let me repeat. Monat is not silicone free. It's cyclic silicone free. Yes, we are free of cyclic silicones because that is toxic. I will say that all of our ingredients in our products are completely safe and effective. They are scientifically backed. They're clinically tested. They go through extensive testing. We have a team of doctors and scientists like dermatologists, ophthalmologists, toxicologists, trichologists, all the things to create our products. It goes through extensive testing and they're safe. I will also say that the US bans 11 or 13 different chemicals from beauty products, and Europe bans over 1,300 products from beauty, or this is hard to say. Europe bans over 1,300 chemicals from beauty products, and we meet European standards. So our products are safe, they're effective. A lot of the scientific advisory board members actually bring the products home for their family members to test out on themselves before they're available to the whole market. So that's what I have to say about that. Point number 5 she makes is they brainwash you into thinking Monat will work for everyone, and if it doesn't, it's user error. There isn't a single product anywhere out there that works for every person on the planet.
She literally, like, I know she's going to say, like, no, nobody ever said that every product works for everyone. Since points 1 through 3, you blamed the individual. Each time we saw her blame the individual. Like, you clearly didn't use the right product. You're clearly not in the right team. You misunderstood what people in the company were telling you, so it's your fault. So if she's going to say anything other than, like, No, it's not the person's fault. We heard you say otherwise.
It's just not possible because of biology. Different people respond to different things in different ways. Allergies are a thing, so yes, you can in fact break out from Monat. So she's exactly right. I've said this on my stories before. It is
Well, you haven't said it on this one.
possible to have allergies to Monat, and if you have allergies, it is possible to break out from it, and in that case, they might not work for you. And I've said that on my stories before. If she was told by other people that that's not true and that Monat does work for everyone, then she was just given misinformation, because I don't spread that sort of misinformation.
Okay, if this whole thing is like, let me debunk MLM Monat misconceptions, then you should have said, I personally am going to debunk if any of these things have come from my mouth or my team. I can understand that, but in opportunity calls, in team calls, you hear all the time, like, everybody uses shampoo. This is a product for everyone. Once every single person tries it, they love it. They fall in love. And, we don't have any returns and nobody ever hates our product. And it's like, no, you hear quite a bit of people, having issues with the product. It's like, well, clearly it was your fault. Clearly you used the wrong product. We've heard that. We've heard them say, this is for everybody. I've heard people say this. I get that her specifically, she has never said this, but that's not a misconception when we have heard people say this.
I've said multiple times, it might not be for you, blah, blah, blah. Her next point is, also I want to mention with that, there can be a lot of user error, because if you're not washing properly, that can be user error. We also have like 8 or 9 different lines. If you're not using, hey buddy, bye buddy. If you're not using the right product line, then that could be user error as well, because not every product is going to work for every hair type and need. They're designed for different hair types and needs. So if you're using the volume line to make your hair bigger and fuller when you already have thick, coarse, fluffy hair, it's not going to be it's not going to work well for you then. That line is for like people with very thin, flat hair, So you just got to use a line that works well for you. You have to wash properly, and you can't be mixing other brands with Monat if you want to see the best results. So it can be user error, but yes, people can have allergies from Monat.
God, speaking of contradictions, no, it's not, people's fault, blah, blah, or yeah, like, yes, people can have allergies, but, like, it's probably also your fault that you have that problem. You're probably just washing your hair wrong. You know how your hair or your skin, you've never had an irritation with the way things work in the past, and then you switch to a certain brand, and that happens? Your fault, not the product's fault. And also, didn't she say and make a point to say that people in MLM, or not MLM, people in Monat use other skincare brands along with Monat, and that's totally fine. But apparently, when it comes to the hair care line, you have to only use Monat products, otherwise, it doesn't work properly. Weird how there is, as far as I know, no other hair care brand on the market that specifically is like, if you use this with a different brand of shampoo, it's not going to work. Your hair won't be clean. None of this will happen. Your hair will start thinning. All of this stuff because you used a shampoo from one company and a conditioner from another. As far as I know, I don't think I have ever heard that besides Monat, where it's like, well, of course your hair is crap. You're using other brand shampoo and only our conditioner, or vice versa. You have to only spend money on Monat, and then your hair will magically work. And our magic, I was gonna say toxins, are the magic within Monat works when you only spend money on Monat. That's when we put the magic unicorn dust in, because we know you are fully in. Something along those lines. So it's just very interesting to me how it's like, people who are in Monat use different skincare brands along with Monat. Totally fine. Nobody sees a problem with that. But then you can't use like a dry shampoo or a conditioner or whatever along with something else. It all has to be Monat. That's how you get the best results, is to fully only by Monat. I just feel like the reason why they say that is because they want you to just be loyal to their brand and give them money. I think on other, bottles of shampoo and conditioner, brands will say, for best results, pair with, and they will say whatever the shampoo or conditioner is. But it's not like, for your results to work, for your hair to actually get clean, you have to do this. It's like, I've just never heard of a company saying, like, you have to use both in order to see results. I just find that very odd.
Her next point is they said you only need 1 hour per day. I spent hours upon hours working my business. And then she goes into saying what all she did every day. You do only need an hour a day. I will say how much time you put into it will determine your outcome in the business. So the more time and effort you put into it, the more you're going to get out from it. And that goes for literally any job in life. If you're only putting in an hour a day, you're probably not going to be as successful as someone who's putting in 6 or 8 hours a day. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do. But the idea of what people do when they are trying to recruit and promoting the MLM is like, you're at work all day working for some other person, you're slaving away at the 9 to 5. Don't you want to cut that in half and be at home and have more money than you do now with working less hours? That is something they promote. Again, not saying she specifically has ever promoted that, but other people have promoted that. Other people say, don't you want to work from home, work less, be able to have more time with your family and time freedom? But then they get in, they're like, I'm working more than I was prior to the MLM. And we have heard that before many a time. So the person is right. They will say you work less and you will get either the same amount of money or more money than you were making at wherever you were working. But then for her to be like, of course people who work 8 hours are going to make more money. It's like working a 9 to 5 where like, you are going to be getting a paycheck. You know that for sure versus joining an MLM where you work 8 hours and a paycheck is never certain. There's a certainty of money on one and not a certainty of money on the other, and you're working the same and or more over here. So which one sounds better? They will preach that all this is sharing products that you love, just going on social media and sharing products that you love, and it seems like money will just flood in. That's what they make it seem like until you get in. You're like, wow, I have to work a lot. I just think that a lot of people in MLMs will promote this work in pockets of your time, work, way less than you were at a traditional job because you're working for yourself and you can work whenever you want, however, but then they get in and they have to do a lot more work than was originally pitched to them. So I think that's what the individual was saying and that's why they were upset. They said I barely had to work and I worked a lot. I was working all the time, which I felt wasn't presented to me when the opportunity was presented.
But you can definitely start there. A lot of people start this business with 2 jobs or while they're a full-time college kid, a mom, whatever. You can do it. Her 7th point is, yes, you can make money by only making sales and not enrolling anyone as a market partner, but at 15% commission and the average order being $100, you would need 200 orders per month to make $3,000 a month. The products do last a long time, so people will only order every 3 to 4 months. So you would need around 600 or more personally enrolled VIPs to make a living wage off of sales alone. So the problem with this bullet point is that she only named 1 of 10 ways that we make money. Yes, we make.
No. That's what I have an issue with in MLMs. It's like, we make money so many different ways. One is sales, the rest are all different ways of recruitment. That's the truth. I mean, if you look at any compensation plan, it's pretty much exactly how it's laid out. It's like sales is number 1, and then there's like 16 other bullet points and arrows and dots and circles that all lead to different ways to make money via recruitment, via ranking up, via getting, 3 people underneath you, via whatever the case may be. The the issue that the person was talking about, the bullet point, was that to make a livable wage via just sales, you would have to sell so much in order to make something that they deemed livable. $3,000 a month. I think that's fair. And they were saying, this is how much you have to do. This is how many VIPs you have to get, or how many sales you have to, or how many products you have to sell in order to achieve that kind of money via sales alone. And that is an issue. That is the absolute biggest issue that every person who is anti-MLM has. Why is it that they can't make a livable wage just selling the product? Why do you have to recruit in order to see any sort of money? That is a huge issue, and something that she clearly either didn't understand the question, because she's like, they didn't talk about the other ways you can make money. They didn't want to even entertain the recruitment aspect, because they shouldn't have to in order to make money. But you do have to.
15% commission off of VIP sales, but she left out a lot of details. That's not the only way you bring in money. She said you would need 200 VIP orders, personally enrolled VIP orders is what she's talking about. You would need 200 orders per month to make $3,000 per month. This is not true, okay? If someone is having 200 VIPs order from them every single month, I would be really freaking impressed. Even the people at the top, the SEDs, I doubt getting 200 VIP orders every single month. That's impressive if they are.
Yeah, they make it very, very, very unattainable to make a living through sales. And like, if the VIP program, I believe, is like a kind of like a loyalty program. So it's not like you're not like recruiting anyone, you're just getting them to, I think they get like free shipping through that program and stuff, and like little trial size doodads or whatever, something like that. So it's not recruitment. So it's like, I don't really have an issue with that. I mean, you are spending quite a lot of money on products that are, shampoo and conditioner, things you can find everywhere for a lot cheaper. But, I still am more okay with people finding VIPs than I am people recruiting people, and then they spend the $200 in order to get their starter kit and so on and so forth. So it's like, for her to say, like, if you had 200 like personally enrolled VIPs, like, that's impressive. Not even the top people have that. And it's like, and you don't see a problem with that?
Yeah, no, again, she's just leaving out the fact that there are 9 other ways we make money. She's leaving out details and spreading misinformation. She said the products do last a long time, so people only order every 3 to 4 months. So you would need around 600 or more customers to make a living wage off of sales alone. Again, she's saying sales alone. I don't know why she's leaving out the fact that there are 9 other ways to make money. Again, it's just spreading misinformation, and you definitely, you don't need 600 VIP customers to.
No, you're right. You don't, because the main way to make money is via recruitment, which is basically word for word what she was saying. She's like so blown away at the fact of like, why would you want 200, VIPs or 600 customers? Like, that's so much work. That's so bizarre to like be making like good money just selling a product. Yeah, sounds crazy, doesn't it?
To make a living wage, because again, we make money in more than one way.
Yeah, via recruitment.
And she said the products do last 3 to 4 months, so that's a good thing. I mean, my personally enrolled VIPs order every like 4 to 6 months, I would say. So that's a good thing. I don't want my VIPs ordering every month. Why would I want them spending $100 to $150 every month? I want them to get the biggest bang for their buck. I want their products to last them a long time.
I understand what she's going for here, but like if somebody is in a business and they are selling product and they had 5, 10, loyal customers who wanted to buy from them every single month, they'd be very excited about that. That's them wanting to spend their money on your product. You would be very happy about having that, instead of being like, well, I only want them to buy from me like once every 6 months. I'm looking out for them. And it's like, no, if you could have a customer buy from you monthly, that's a positive thing.
Because the whole point of switching to these products is that, yeah, they might be a little bit more expensive, but they're going to last you longer, so you're getting a bigger bang for your buck. So I'm happy that my VIPs.
I mean, that's untrue also, because I've had, in videos I've done of Monat, I've had you guys in my comments say like I buy like the huge bottles, and that stuff lasts me a long time, and it's way cheaper than a bottle of Monat shampoo. So it's not a bigger bang for your buck. It's way more. Because here's the thing: is that like, is somebody washing their hair less because they bought Monat shampoo and conditioner than they had before? Like, let's say they used drugstore products or whatever. I feel like you would wash your hair no different. So you'd probably go through shampoo and conditioner about the same as you were prior. So you're still spending more because Monat is more expensive.
Only order every like 4 to 6 months. That's a good thing. Her 8th point is they want you to be authentic on social media, but don't post about your mental health. That's bad for business, and you just need to move on and stop living in the past. Again, she seems like she's speaking about her own personal experience. I don't know if this is how her team actually led. If they did lead like this, I don't support that. I don't think that's a great way to lead your team. But my team and my own personal experience is that that's not true. Our team actually talks a lot about mental health. The founder of my team, her name's Mel, she actually has hired different people for our team calls, like trauma healing coaches, like holistic therapists, stuff like that, manifestation coaches. Like, she doesn't have to do those things. She does that to help us like heal our inner traumas and work through things, become better mentally. Like, my team specifically is all about mental health. I even have a little story highlight on my personal Instagram that's labeled mental health, and I talk about it. A lot of my teammates talk about mental health on their stories and their experience with therapy, all the things. So again, if that was her experience, I'm sorry, but I can't relate to that. We're all about mental health on my team. They tell you that no really means not yet. You should just keep trying.
If she denies this, we have done videos on this channel of people saying that exact thing. She cannot deny this. This is true. And you know what she's gonna say is, well, in my team, we don't do this. Okay, but clearly in other people's teams, they are doing this. This is information that is out there that is being told. You cannot say that is a misconception or misinformation when we have seen it and heard it ourselves.
Don't bring up Monat, but keep engaging so you show up in their feed. I don't know why she made this point because it's not a negative thing. Hi, Abdel. It's not a negative thing. That's just a thing of direct sales. No does not always mean no. Sometimes it does mean not yet. I have had people who told me no in the beginning and then changed their mind and said yes. Sometimes it just means they don't have the budget right now, or they're not fully convinced yet, or they want to use up products first.
Wow, she really doesn't view that as a negative thing. And I've said this before of like a no means no, and being any person, no means no, but especially as a woman, we know no means no. But apparently when it comes to another woman in direct sales, no means not yet. And being pushy and constantly bothering them and checking in on them and being annoying, their whole point was that they were making a point to say like no means not yet. Like, you have to constantly be posting on social media, you have to be constantly checking up on people because they may someday say yes, and they were uncomfortable with that. They don't want to bother people, and that is another thing in MLMs. They bother people all the time.
So I don't really know why she said this. It's not really a negative thing. It's just a known fact of direct sales that no sometimes means not yet.
So then it's not a misconception. It's a fact that you confirmed. Thank you.
I don't know what her point in saying that was.
I do.
5 more points to go, guys. We're almost done. Point number 11. They continuously say, you can work this into the nooks and crannies of your life, and shame you for watching Netflix or mindlessly scrolling rather than working. In other words, the only appropriate form of self-care is an oil treatment and washing your hair. Use every moment for Monat. So again, this just seems like her own personal experience with Monat, or with her team. Sorry, I'm trying to read comments and read this at the same time. This is not my experience with my team. I am not shamed for watching Netflix or doing whatever I do with my time. I can do whatever.
Then you are very, very lucky because we have seen people shame people for buying a Starbucks, watching an hour of Netflix. It's like you could be, recruiting people in that hour of Netflix. Like you tell me you have no time, but you sit there and you binge Netflix. We hear that. We've heard that. So I get that she doesn't have a personal experience with this. I understand. But maybe if you venture out more, and of course they don't want you to do that in Monat, they want you to stay within your little echo chamber of positivity. So it's like whatever's going on in your little circle is all that's going on. That's all that matters. Everybody's outside experiences don't matter. So if it's not happening in her little circle, then it's that person's fault. They're either wrong or they need to get a new team. Instead of being like, yeah, that's not cool. Like, people shouldn't be doing that. Like, I haven't heard of that, and that's really not cool. And then if you were to do just a little bit of looking around, seeing what people are saying on social media, you would be aware that a lot of people say that.
I want. And yes, you can squeeze it into the nooks and crannies of your life. Like I said in a previous point, a lot of people start this business with 2 jobs or as a full-time college.
What are nooks and crannies of time? Like when you're going to the bathroom, when you're at a stoplight, like what are nooks and crannies?
Kid or as a mom. And that's how most people got to the top, was by squeezing it into the nooks and crannies of their life.
Or getting in right when Monat started.
Point number 12 is you better be full-faced with makeup, hair done, and have a beautifully curated feed or you won't make money.
Yes.
I think my appearance right now says everything it needs to say about that.
No, but I do believe that they need to have the aesthetic looking Instagram or Facebook, which I believe my It Works video that I recently did, that's basically what she said. She said to be attractive, which meant have an attractive looking Instagram and Facebook profile. So, yes, you can come on looking however you want when it comes to like reels and stories and stuff, but like when it comes to pictures, you need to have like the photo shoot esque perfect lighting with like the most emotional, loving caption of how the MLM changed your world and your dreams came true and you were a lost, broken human until the MLM opened its arms and hugged you with it. It's so stupid. But that's what they all sound like. Every single one of them sound like that. It's so silly.
I have an oil treatment in my hair, a 2-day oil treatment. My hair is greasy from that, oily from that. I have no makeup on. I do have a filter on to make me look a little bit better, but that's just own personal preference. I'm in a sweatshirt, no bra. This is how I show up on my stories like 5 out of 7 days a week. You'll be lucky if you see me wearing makeup or my hair done. Again, this just seems like her own personal experience.
I just wish that she would have some empathy for the things that these people are saying instead of like, well, they clearly had a bad experience because it was more than likely their fault or it was their terrible team, even though everyone's promised a great team and a great leader and a great whatever, you know? So I just wish that she showed some sort of something for these people, just a little care.
With her team.
It just really goes to show that they just put the MLM up here and people are down here.
Okay, point number 13. The gratitude initiative, in my opinion, is just another way for them to bring in money. The CEO had bomb-ass seats at the Super Bowl, and the whole family took an over-the-top elaborate ski trip for Christmas. The women are always wearing expensive clothes. They're the elite. So the first point of that is she thinks the gratitude initiative is just another way for them to bring in money. First of all, that's false because I keep getting distracted by these comments. Every single penny that's spent on gratitude items goes back to people in need. So it's not 90%, it's not 99%, 100% of money brought in from our gratitude program is given back to people who need it. So no, it's not just another way to bring in money, because none of it is coming back to market partners. It's not going to the founders.
You cannot say that with certainty. You do not know. You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe because you don't personally get any of that money doesn't mean that other people aren't getting part of that money. In your team, you may not get the money, but maybe the people at the top do. You don't know.
Of the company, nothing. It's going back to people in need. So that's, again, just misinformation. It's all misinformation she's spewing here. And she said the CEO had bomb-ass seats to the Super Bowl and the whole family took an over-the-top elaborate ski trip for Christmas. I don't know what that has to do with anything. I mean, they're the founders of a multi-billion-dollar company. Obviously, they're going to be wealthy and they can do whatever the fuck they want with their money. Just because they're giving back to market partners and everything doesn't mean they're not allowed to treat themselves. They're allowed to get bomb-ass seats to the Super Bowl or go on a family ski trip for Christmas. Like, I don't know what her point was. She just seems to be jealous that she can't afford that. And then,
Wow. Not what I thought she was going to say. Whoa, they really do hold their CEO up to this godlike standard. Wow.
the last part was the women are always wearing expensive clothes. They're the elite. So the people at the top of the company, the SEDs and millionaires, a lot of them do wear designer clothing. But again, that's their money. They're millionaires. They can do what they want with their money.
Funny how the people at the top can do whatever they want with their money. That's their money. You can't tell them what to do with their money. But then a lot of the times we see people get shamed for buying a Starbucks, getting their nails done. It's like they tell me they have no money, but then they go and get Starbucks or they go to the movies. They clearly have money. They just don't want to spend it in this business. They don't want to change their life. So we can have issues with people who aren't in the MLM, who aren't joining your downline. We can have issues with how they spend their money, but people at the top, we should just stay out of their life. We shouldn't worry about what they're doing with their money. The contradictions, the double standard, all of it.
If you get to SED and a millionaire, you don't have to buy a Gucci belt or Chanel shoes. You can fucking buy whatever you want. It's your money. You do what you want with it. Again, this just seems like she's projecting her insecurities onto other people. I'm a firm believer in that. If you have someone hating on you for any reason, it probably comes back to them. It says more about them than it does you. So the fact that she seems upset that the CEO is going to the Super Bowl and elaborate ski trips for Christmas, and the women at the top are wearing expensive clothing, seems that she's just jealous she can't do those things. That's what I get out of that. Point number 14 is, if it's not a pyramid, then why are the same people consistently the top income earners, but I don't see them out here recruiting ever? Oh, because they don't have to, because you're doing all the work for them underneath. So with this, I will say, first of all, let's start with a pyramid, okay?
I bet we're going to hear every business has a pyramid-like shaped structure. You have the CEO, the president, the office worker. Heard it before. That's their new go-to when people call it a pyramid. They're like, well, then what about every other business? And it's like, well, all of those people get paid to work, not pay into the company to do a bunch of work to maybe get paid. And also, all the people within the company are not the main consumer of whatever the product or service is. The outside people are. But versus in an MLM, it's all within here, little tiny bit out here, but only because they want people to get in the triangle with them. Come along with us.
Job is, so let's talk about like a corporate job, okay? You're gonna have employees, and then you're gonna have supervisors, and then you're gonna have managers, and then you're gonna have owners, and then you're gonna have like the CEO in corporate or whoever. It's always going to be a pyramid. The difference is with MLMs, or at least Monat, I can't speak for all MLMs, you can you start down here, you can surpass all these people and make more money, okay? As an employee,
not more than the CEO. Never. And like we say is that, the people who are at the top, like chilling, like somewhere near the top, like of course below the CEO, of course. But those people almost never change. Like they're consistently at the top because of recruitment, not because of sales.
In a restaurant or a retail job, you're never going to go above your managers and your boss is the CEO corporate. You're never going to be making more money than them.
You can get promoted. Did you not know about promotions? And also, another point, somebody in the comments had made this point, is that you can get promoted within a job like 3 levels above. Like, you never have to start at an entry level, depending on, your background. That's why people go to school. So, you can boost up 3, 4 levels and do that. And in MLM, you have to start at the bottom rank no matter what. You cannot just jump to, 7 ranks within the MLM because of your background. No, cannot do that. It has to all do with how many people you have below you.
So, what?
Actually, I guess everybody does start out at the bottom, but of course, if you bring a lot of people along with you from a different MLM, then you will go up a lot quicker and it will seem like you jumped 7 levels by doing nothing.
What's the real pyramid scheme here?
How is that a pyramid scheme? How?
First of all. Second of all, she says, then why are the same people consistently the top income earners? I don't see them out here recruiting ever. Yes, they do recruit people. If you actually follow a lot of the SEDs on Instagram, most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time they screenshot when they get VIPs, they screenshot when they get market partners, and in order to earn the...
Yeah, but are they getting those people or are their downline getting those people? So yes, those people are still technically a part of their team, but did they personally get those people?
Bigger trips in Monat, you have to recruit new VIPs and new market partners. That's a part of how you earn those trips. And the fact that these SCDs and millionaires are earning those trips shows that, yes, they do recruit more market partners and VIPs, and they're not just depending on their downline to recruit for them. So again, she's just spreading more misinformation. Seems like an invalid point. So with all these points, they either seem invalid or untrue. She's just spreading misinformation, and it's upsetting because a lot of people believe it. A lot of people see it, and a lot of people in the comments call these people dumb, whoever joined Monat or MLM, saying they're stupid and they need to get educated, but really they're the uneducated ones because they're believing false information.
That whole "no you" thing that MLMers do, it's just like, okay, well, we would like you guys to go and do this. Like, we feel like you're uneducated. We feel like you are just, listening to the echo chamber that is the MLM. And it's like, no, you're uneducated. No, you have the pyramid scheme. And it's like, okay.
Information like this that they see online from a stranger when they could really reach out to someone they personally know, like, and trust who sells Monat to give them the real details. So with all of this, I want to make some points that in network marketing, you learn that it's not about you, it's about other people. Or I'll talk about Monat specifically. I don't know about other MLMs, but with Monat specifically, you have to learn that you have to focus on helping others. This person right here seems so focused on the fact that she wasn't making the money she wanted to make. So she's taking her anger out on people who are still in the business. So she seems very me-focused, when in this business you have to be focused on other people. You have to be focused on helping other people. And she was only focused on herself. And if you're selfish, you're pretty much not going to win at anything in life. That's my personal opinion. In order to see success in yourself, you have to help others win. So that's that. I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it was. But I feel like I debunked all 15 of these bullet points pretty well. So if you're someone who... Oh, I know what I wanted to say. She seemed like she was a part of a team that wasn't right for her. So if you're someone who has been thinking about joining Monat or any MLM, I would suggest to join someone that you know, like, and trust. If you don't like the way someone leads their team, don't join them.
But what if the person who they did join under is someone they know, like, and trust, and then they got in and things weren't exactly what they thought it would be, because they always portray it one way as an opportunity call and a totally different way once you're in the MLM. So how do you know that the person that they were under was not someone that they personally knew? Maybe it was a best friend or a close friend, somebody like that. And when they got in, that person was like, hey, I really need you to join more team calls. I really need you to do this, this, and this. So they were like, whoa, this is way different than I expected it to be. And things got worse and worse. So you want them to just know how people train and how they are. Again, how they portray themselves on social media to the public is a lot different behind the closed DM doors, the closed team calls. We don't see everything. Everything can be much, much different once you're within the MLM. They're like, all right, I've got you. I don't have to really put on this facade as much. Not saying that everybody does that, but it's a possibility that that's what happened to her. She was close with the person, and then things changed when she got in the MLM, which is also something that we have heard and seen before.
Any of other people who sell the products you're maybe interested in selling, look into finding someone else who you like the way they lead their team. And if you do have an upline and you don't like the way they lead, do your own thing, okay? You're not required to do what they do. The great thing about network marketing is that you're your own boss and you get to choose how you run your business. So if you don't like the way your upline or their upline runs the business, create your own team and run it how you want to run it. But I am a part of a very supportive and inclusive and understanding team. I love my team. So, yeah.
I'm happy for her that she's, she has people that really seem to care about one another. I'm not in her team, so I don't know. But, who knows if she were to get out, if things were to be different.
That's what I have to say about that. If any of you have any other questions or concerns that were not addressed in this little blog post here, reach out to me. I'm sure I can debunk those as well, because I really don't want all of this misinformation being spread, because this is why a lot of people hate on Monat or they hate on MLMs, because of this BS right here. So thanks for listening to me, guys. I will be chatting with you soon, and yeah, have a great day.
Bye, Monat lady. I'm truly curious. Did she debunk any of those things for any of you guys? If anything, she absolutely confirmed all of them. The contradictions were crazy. You cannot say that you debunked something because you have one personal experience while 6 other people may have a different experience. The contradictions and the back and forth that we just had to go through was crazy. And I know for a fact that she genuinely believes that she legitimately debunked everything that was on that list. And for someone to call your business a pyramid scheme, and then for the next thing that a lot of them say is like, no, you're part of a pyramid scheme. Or, well, look at this, if that's a pyramid scheme, then you're also in a pyramid scheme. It's like, also? Then are you viewing that you are a part of a pyramid scheme? It's like the whole idea that they just cannot get away from is like, our biggest issue is the recruitment aspect, which she, in this video, heavily, heavily promotes when she was like, she's not talking about the other ways. And, the people at the top recruit. Like, all this person cared about over here was money. You need to care about the people. And it's like, everyone who joins a business, who believes it's their own business, of course is going to be in it for the money. So then to get mad at them for wanting money, I'll never understand MLMs and their logic. Alright, you guys, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you really, really liked it, please subscribe. Let's talk all things Monat, misconceptions, debunking, MLMs in the comments below. And until my next video, I will see you guys then. Bye!